Good morning and welcome back. I promised you big. Port of Felixstowe. As far as big goes, that's a big ship. So I parked in the car park down on the viewpoint, and I'm just walking out to what's called the viewpoint. It's just a little pier-like structure which is right there. I set a tripod up on there. It is as grey can be today, so I think it's probably, I don't know, I mean it's grey, but we've got the structure and the blues and the colours of the structure, so we've got something to, you know, bat off against that grey. Long exposure comes to mind, but we'll see. It's still quite dimpsy and dark, so all the lights up there should look good. I'm just going to go out on there and we'll get set up. See you in a minute. It's a real shame there's absolutely no definition in the clouds. You might get some movement with the long exposure. I'm just trying to sort of figure out composition. I like this one. Turn you around. Let's turn the light on as well. You turn you around, it's sort of, you'll see the two ships there. There is a leading line off of it. But I think one of the compositions I have seen is down on the beach down here somewhere. And then you get right to the back of the ships. I'll get set up and I'll get right back to you. What I want to start today with is 5 top tips for a trip away like this. So number 1 would be to plan your journey accordingly. I planned to spend Thursday and Friday at Lakenheath, but on the Wednesday I found out that Lakenheath was going to be shut on the Friday, so you kind of got to think on your feet sometimes. And I came up, just open Google Maps and just thumb your way around the map. I soon found this place, and you know, I love big stuff, I love, you know, powerful stuff, so this was an obvious choice for the second day. There's still plenty of stuff to do around this area, landscape wise, but I thought, no, let's have a go at this. So yeah, the top tip number 1, always plan your journey, plan your route, plan your journey, plan your stops. It saves you so much time, and as a photographer you need that time, because if you want to be here an hour before sunrise and you've messed your journey plans up, it's, you know, you're going to pay the ultimate price for it ultimately. Look at the weather in that planning as well. I planned today knowing that it was going to be grey. All the cloud cover, all the apps said it's just going to be a grey day. There's even a spot of rain in the air. It's slightly warmer than yesterday, I'll give it that. But yeah, first top tip, plan. You can plan enough, but you can't plan enough. But definitely plan. So, top tip number 2, probably the most important one, make sure everything's charged. Don't leave the house with half-dead batteries, or because you'll turn up to your location, and if you've underestimated your location, you're gonna, again, you know, you're gonna pay the ultimate price for it, aren't you? It's it's a simple task. Charge everything and be prepared. Be ready for when you got there. When I arrived at Lakenheath yesterday, I was ready. I had the big lens on, both batteries were charged. It was just a case of me putting some stuff in my pockets and off we go. So yeah, top tip number 2, charge everything. Right, setting up on this location, let's pick you up. Right, turn you around. Quite like all these. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's about 10 of these signs. Now I like the way they look. There's got to be some sort of composition here somewhere. Give me a minute and I'll get set up. So I've set up on a composition. I've used the first pole and led out, and then in the middle of the shot you've got the sort of end, it sort of curves round a bit. That's not in it. So I've just put the ND32 on, gone straight to F20, and sort of gone 15 seconds, 20 seconds. I was going to try 30, but I think it was a bit too much. 20 seconds is looking really good, so I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah, ISO 50, F22, 20 seconds. I really like it. There's a little bit of light in the sky. The water is smooth as a baby's butt. And it all curves off and leads off. I quite like it. Dysfunctionally nice. Right, finish that composition. Back up to the top. Brings me on tip number 3. Memory cards. You can never have enough. I learnt that the hard way first ever time I went to Lakenheath. Stupidly, I only went with a 64 gigabyte card. Filled that up very, very quickly. So if you're shooting, say, uncompressed on the Sony, file sizes are about 84. If you shoot compressed, they're about 43 per file. So either way, you can imagine how quickly I filled up 64 gigabytes at Lakenheath. So that was a big lesson for me. So yeah, top tip number 3. Always make sure you've got a big enough memory card for what you're off going to do. So Lakenheath, 256 gigabytes. You want quite a fast write speed on it as well, to be fair. High speed shooting, you will soon fill it up. I think first time I went to Lakenheath, I filled 64 gigabytes up in the morning and used another one in the afternoon. I don't go anywhere now without 256 as a rule, really. Right, moving location. See if we can't get a better shot of these ships. Speak to you in a minute. And just remember, top tip number 3 on a long trip: memory cards. Right, so set up here, or down there, as you can see. Same sort of thing, long exposure still, not long, 15 seconds I'm down to now on that ND32. Kind of looking for a foreground interest. So I've got these, there's like a whole stack of stuff here. I remember what I said about the greys. The greys of today, it's just, there are some blues now, slowly breaking a little bit. So we need to find colour. You know, photographers are always looking for light. You need to find colour on a grey day. I've set this composition up, see if you can see it. So you've got these in the foreground. This is obviously a focus stack. The ship, and then off in the background there you've got the cranes of the empty part of the port. So again, F20, 15 seconds, ND32, ISO 50, focus stacked it. We'll pile them on top of each other in Lightroom and Photoshop, and we'll see how that looks. But you've got the cranes there, they're full of colour. You've got all the containers, they're different colours. But what you have got is moving parts to this photo. There's constant lorries moving up and down, there's constant container movers moving. The hooks for the containers, they keep coming down. So I'll be interested to see how the photo looks once it's on a bigger screen. That will be interesting. Obviously I can't get much closer. I'm not putting the big lens on for stuff like this, but we'll see how it goes. I did a little long exposure back there as well, just with the horizon and the water. So we'll see how they go. You've already seen that. I would have put that up already, I think. And I'll put this one up now. So this is a little focus stack, focused on the two logs, then I focused on the ship. Here it is. So, tip number 4, when you go away, always make sure someone knows where you are and they know your plans. You know, I've changed my plans today. My wife knows where I am. She knows what I'm doing. I've already sent her a picture that I'm here. But obviously, in researching this location, bear in mind you're going to a different part of the country. The tidal range will be different to what you're used to in your local area. It takes 10 seconds just to Google your location and tide times. I know this tide is going out. I beg your pardon. I know this tide's coming in. Low tide was at 5:30. High tide is about 11:30, 12 o'clock. So I know I've got hours. I'm only locally, I'm right on the coast anyway. But yeah, tip number 4, know your location. You know, you've got to look after yourself. The last thing you want to do is get into trouble. And finally, tip number 5 of any trip, whether it's photography whether it's just satisfying your need of a hobby to watch aviation or whatever you watch, make sure you have a good time. That's my top tip. Enjoy it. Even if it goes wrong, enjoy it. I've just read a comment on Facebook now, some guy up in the Mac loop really struggling, and I just commented, really, talk to others, learn, enjoy it, but don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. And that's it. 5 top tips. Number 5 is the best one of them all. Enjoy what you do, love what you do. And if it all goes wrong, just stop, take a breath, and then go back to it. That's it. Right, that's it. I'm done. It's time to head home. 5 hours, 256 miles to go. I hope you've enjoyed it. 2 awesome locations. Lakenheath never fails to amaze. And as for this place, it's taken my breath away, the sheer scale and size of that. By now, at this point in the video, you would have seen the drone footage that I did. I hope that gives you some sort of scale of these container ships. I've never seen anything like it. That's it. First trip of the year done. Thanks very much for watching. Thank you for your support. I wouldn't do it without you guys. Yeah, it's been brilliant. Loved it. It's been freezing, absolutely freezingly Baltic yesterday, and pretty damn cold this morning, but we've got more of it to come next week. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I'm off to pick up my brand new iMac, so I have a lovely new computer to edit my beautiful photos on, and I will see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Tune in soon. Hopefully going up Pen y Fan on Sunday, so that'll be the video after that, unless something goes really wrong. But yeah, stay tuned, stay safe, have a good week, see you later.